Once a Middle Eastern king's motorcade was rolling fast through the desert, where there were several flocks of sheep regularly herded to graze amid the sparse grass. As the king's limo dropped over a hill, his car hit a lamb that had wandered onto the road. The king stopped his motorcade and inspected the lamb. Now it was in the protective arms of the flock's nearby shepherd. The lamb was obviously hurt, requiring medical attention. But to the king, this was nothing but a worthless lamb. It was an inconvenience, one that should be easily dispensed with so that the king could be on his way. Now, in this kingdom, the law stated that if someone were to hit a sheep on the road, that the offending driver must pay the shepherd 10 times the sheep's value. But in so paying, the sheep would then be slaughtered and all the meat given to the one paying the penalty for hitting the animal in the first place. As the king's assistant talked with the shepherd, however, he refused the king's money, stating that he would keep the lamb and nurse it back to health. But the king was frustrated. Why would anyone refuse such a windfall in payment for just a lowly lamb? However, the king's assistant, who knew the ways of the desert folk, understood. He explained to the king, of course carefully, that the shepherd knew each and every one of his sheep. He was especially tender towards the newborn lambs. He would no sooner take money for a wounded lamb to then see it slaughtered than he would if it was one of his own children. But the king was not convinced. "Is the man mad?" the king said. "Look, he keeps whispering to the lamb. This is madness, surely." The king's assistant explained, "No, sire. The man is speaking comforting words to the lamb, using the lamb's own name. That's because the shepherd knows the names of each and every one of his sheep, especially the precious newborns, and in turn, they all know his voice. See how the lamb has quieted down? It's now resting calmly in the shepherd's embrace. Please, my king, consider the shepherd and his lamb as you would one of your own children." The king stood in silence, studying the fellow a long moment, then said, "I understand." He faced the man of the desert, proclaiming, "Peace be upon you, good shepherd." The king and entourage roared off along the desert highway. If they had looked back, they would have seen the tired, weather-beaten face of the shepherd with tears on his cheeks, carefully bandaging the lamb's wounded leg, all the while calling the little fellow by his cherished name. Shepherds hold a special place in our collective past. A true shepherd, a good shepherd, is a unique kind of person. Like the good shepherd in the story, the Lord carries each one of us in his arms and in his heart every day, especially those who may feel unworthy, alone, or hopelessly lost. Brothers and sisters, please know during this special time of year, this Easter season, that the Good Shepherd lives. He loves us. And I testify that he will never, ever abandon us. I'm Rick Robison, and this is the Heroes for Freedom podcast.